right, guys, it's Mrs. Knight. Now that you guys have gone through and done the Making Waves assignment, along with reading Tsunami Warning, we are going to continue to explore sound waves, and today we get to do our first sim for this last unit. So this is exploring sound waves. So let's go ahead and look at warning tsunami and talk about a couple of things that you guys may have read about. So it says, we have learned that sound travels as a wave, so we are investigating waves. What did we read is the wave pattern of a tsunami? What is its source? So we're going to talk about the words wave pattern and source. So if you guys think back to the slinky, we know that the waves, they went back and forth. If you guys think of the rope, we notice that they kind of went in a, well, they all are waves, but an up and down wave pattern. So the source is what is creating the wave. The source is the hand pushing the slinky. And right here, the source was the hand pulling the rope up and down to make it move. So the hand was the source. So today we will investigate what moves in a wave. So I want to know, I know that the hand pushes it, but how come it keeps moving back and forth? Or why does it keep moving up and down? I want to know what is moving inside. It's not the hand that's forcing this part to move. There's something else going through it. So let's reread this section of Tsunami Warning that starts on page 13 to see if we can find out what moves in a tsunami wave. So if you wanted to go back into our student apps page and find the book Warning Tsunami, you can go back and read. Otherwise, I'm just going to read this part right here. It says, what moves in a tsunami? So see if you can listen to hear what is moving. An earthquake near Alaska can cause a tsunami that devastates Hawaii about 4,600 kilometers, almost 3,000 miles away. However, that doesn't mean that water from Alaska travels all the way to Hawaii. The water itself is hardly even moving in a tsunami. If it was, imagine all of the ocean animals living in the water near Alaska that would get swept across the ocean and land on the beach in Hawaii. Well, if I look back in this paragraph, I know that the earthquake is the source. The earthquake is what is causing the tsunami. Then it says, what do you think could be traveling as a tsunami wave moves across the ocean? It says all that travels is the energy of the wave. So the word energy is very important. So if I look here, I see that if this is where the energy starts, the earthquake happens, it creates energy that gets more intense as it gets closer to the shore. So even though the waves aren't very tall out here, as they get closer to the shore, the energy causes them to get higher and higher, causing a tsunami. Energy is the ability to make things move or change. So we even learned this in our first unit when we learned about electricity. If we turn on a light switch, that's a move or a change. It creates energy and it turns on the light. If we throw a football, we use our own body to move and create energy to make a football move in the air. So energy is another word that we're going to look at in this unit. So now that we've talked a little bit about waves and we know that energy is inside a wave, we get to explore the simulation. So now it's time to use what we have learned about waves to think about sound waves specifically. We're not looking at waves in the water, but we want to think about sound waves that help dolphins communicate. So this will help us figure out how sound travels between dolphins. So today we're going to use the sim. Now you'll see that there are instruments in the sim. I'm going to show you each of these buttons and we'll do a couple practices together. And remember, because we don't actually have instruments that we can use this with, this is just a model. It shows us what would happen. And even these little balls here, these little dots, we wouldn't see those traveling in the air with sound, but a model shows us what is happening. So you guys will see that there's an image on the right of an instrument. So this one looks like a double bass. You can hit the arrows here to go back and forth between your different instruments. So, view all sounds will also show you all of the different instruments that you have, and you'll hit play to listen to the sound. As you guys are doing the simulation, you are going to write down what you notice and what you wonder. Okay? So, first, I want you to think about what you see moving. What do you notice about what is moving? And what do you wonder about that? We'll talk about that. What do you notice about the pattern? Is there a pattern that you see? What do you notice? What do you wonder? The sounds I hear. So I know that some of the sounds are lower than other sounds that are higher. What do you notice when the sounds are higher or lower? And then the source of the sound is where you think it's coming from. Okay? So this is the worksheet, practice book page 14, that you guys will need in your science journals to fill this out as you do the simulation. So let's go ahead and explore the simulation, and we'll complete part of our practice book page. So I'm going to go here to the classroom website. To get to our simulation, you guys are going to click on the Science tab. Now, when you scroll down, we will have directions here. I know these are the older directions. I will have new directions with our new dates, but you're going to click on Amplify Science, this button here, and this is our login information. So I'm going to click on Amplify Science. So I have already scrolled down, and when you guys log in, you'll find waves, energy, and information. When you guys click on that, we see simulations. There's actually 2 in this unit, but you're just going to click on number 1, sound waves. Once you guys open that up and it loads, this is what it will look like. Thank you guys for being patient. All right, so now you can see over here, there's the instrument, view all sounds, and play. We can change the instrument. Now I'm going to turn up my volume here. Once I hit play, you guys can see something happening. I can change the instrument. And I do notice that it looks a little bit different every time I choose a different instrument. So here's where you guys are going to write down your observations. I'm going to help you get started on the first row. That way you guys can figure out how to do the rest of the worksheet. So I'm actually going to go to my investigation notebook, practice book, page 14. So it says in the second column of the table right here, record what you notice about the simulation. As you explore the simulation, record what you wonder about in the third column. So the first observation is what I see moving. So I got to think about what I notice and what I wonder. Well, I notice that these little balls here, they keep moving in kind of a wave. Every time I hit the drum, that sound creates a wave. Now I notice that some waves are closer together than others. Ooh, I noticed that that was just one giant wave. So I need to think about what I notice and what I wonder. So I'm going to go back to my my notebook page here, and I'm going to just type out an answer so you guys can see it best. So what I notice that I want to make sure I'm using complete sentences. I'm going to try and make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. Make sure we use complete sentences and also complete thoughts. So maybe it's a couple things that you notice, a couple sentences. That's okay. This is being a little stubborn. Sorry, guys. Okay. I noticed that I'm going to call them the orange balls are moving. Really having trouble typing today. Sorry, guys. The orange balls are moving in a wave pattern. Now, something else I noticed, like I said, you can put 2 sentences. I can say, I also noticed that some waves are bigger than others. I have to think, what do I wonder? I kind of wonder, what are those orange balls and why are they moving? So what are the orange balls and why do they move with the sound? That's what I wonder. Notice how if it's something we wonder, it's a question. You can also start your next sentence with I wonder why and make it a sentence without a question mark. So, what I want you guys to do is, as you fill out this worksheet, pick at least one sentence in each box. You guys will have 6 more to fill out. And if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me and ask, and I will help you guys.